Hello everyone, it's going to be a short video of demonstration about integration between the mininet Wi-Fi and the Jupyter Notebook. A mininet Wi-Fi is actually a fork of a mininet software-defined networking emulation, which extend the functionality of mininet by adding the virtualized Wi-Fi station and access point based on some sort of IEEE standards. It's very useful for computer science students, whether undergrads or graduate students, in order to go for some sort of emulation of wireless networking. You can find the tutorial and the main page here. One limitation exists with this configuration is that it works with the Ubuntu-based, Linux-based machine, and it's pretty hard to get it well installed by the commands if you're not really expert in the Linux and how you can just install new packages and something like that. But the authors actually provided you a pre-configured virtual machine which has the mininet and I think OVS switches installed priorly, but if you are a Windows user you need to VirtualBox or VMware in order to run these pre-configured images. Our target was to provide a web-based mininet for educational purposes, specifically for a student, so can learn about networking, which doesn't need any sort of complexity inside the client or a student side, and we want to just develop some sort of platform-free configuration. So what I actually did with the help of the main guy behind the mininet Wi-Fi, Raman, was to integrate the Jupyter Notebook for interactive Python with the mininet Wi-Fi to some level. Here what I have is a virtual machine which running the mininet Wi-Fi installed on the Python 3 libraries folder, and I have the Jupyter running inside this machine. As you can see here, Jupyter is running on the all network interface card. Then I just using my Chrome here, as you can see here, my Chrome. I log into this machine that I'm running a server, Jupyter server on, and then open a notebook and try to go some simple example to just show you a demo of what's going to be done. So I just execute a cell 1 which tries to put the matplotlib background and use the notebook version of matplotlib. So it's running, and the cell 1 now executed. Let's go about the cell 2 here. We import some mininet needed actually classes and functions here. We're going to try to creating a network with the three stations here, which try to get connected to each other with this MAC address and IP, and then we have one access point which is working on the channel 1 on this position, and then we try to plot everything to just show you some sense of what's happening inside the network, and we'll try to start a mobility from time 0 with some sort of actually argument here, and then let's see if you are around this cell what will be happened. Now what we have is that we have the mininet running inside this interactive figure of matplotlib, and as we can see, the station 1, station 2, and station 3 is actually moving around. That's good. Inside our Chrome. Now what we really need is to just get access to some sort of command line interface of each station. just for example, I want to get the command of a station 3 ping access point 1. Thanks to Raman for changing some sort of code of the CLI, and now here in the February of 2022, if you just use the command git pull and make install the code, then you should have the latest version with changes on the CLI inside the mininet Wi-Fi installation. So if I just run this cell, as you can see, I have the ability to just go inside the station 3 using this cell and just ping this access point 1, which I just with 0 packet lost here, and as you can see the result of ping. We can just do maybe a lot of interesting things as well, like just get to station 3 network configuration and see what is inside it. As you can see, I have a 1 loop back address and a station 3 wireless LAN here with a specific IP address. You can just do some other commands that you can normally actually do with the mininet without integration with Jupyter, but here just want as an illustration you can witness what functionality and what capabilities actually you have. Just as a one case that I was wondering, a guy maybe needs some sort of consideration over running the command line interface in one cell and maybe do some other stuff in the other cell, because the sense of the Jupyter notebook, or which needs an execution of the cell to be completely done and then go to the next cell. So it's not possible to just run the 2 CLI at the same time. One simple implementation by me, a few lines of code, consider of just making some process to run this command in a worker function which try to ping this IP address station 2 from station 1 and then run it for 5 times and then go to sleep for 10 seconds. And as you can see here, I just done with the cell 5 and my process is doing everything inside here, so that's okay. Every 10 seconds it's going to go and print this string. I'm in a new process and run this command, as you can see. And in another cell I can just go over and see. Just like I can want to station 2 ping a station 3 as this cell in the 5 is running. So it's actually sending information towards new cell, and I get my information inside the above cell, so I can do lots of interesting stuff here with just multiple actually pinging and multiple data transformation, and I just use it for just getting out of the process if it's needed, but I just hear it in a while loop. I check it I less than 5. Now the final let's see what the variables inside this Jupyter notebook, which connects to one Python 3 kernel. You can see we have CLI, mininet Wi-Fi, matplotlib, net, station 1, station 2, station 3, and finally when you're done we can see still we have this image working and there this station moving, so there's nothing wrong with this station moving. And even you can go here and pan actually the network plot here. The next step would be to implement everything on a Jupyter Hub. So we have lots of notebook, probably in a cloud environment, and then we try to just distribute this to many students, and let's see what kind of limitations we're going to face or what kind of problems we're going to witness. Thank you for watching.